All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would everyone please stand for a prayer and a salute to the flag? God grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of all of our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women now guarding the gates of freedom. Councilman Khaleesi, salute to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Okay. With that, I'll take the approval of prior minutes.
Statement of publication.
I'm sorry, statement of publications.
Take notice that this regular agenda meeting of the Mayor and Borough Council being held on this 23rd day of March 2026 has been posted and advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Blumer, Felici,
Here.
Novak,
Yeah.
Rios,
Here.
Sinarski, Zabrowski.
Here.
Okay, with that, I'll take the approval of the prior minutes of the mayor and council president.
Mayor, I move the following minutes of the mayor and council be approved on roll call vote. That is the March 9th, 2026 minutes, subject to correction if necessary.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilperson Zabrowski,
Yes.
Blumer,
Yes.
Felici,
Yes.
Novak,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Anything for executive?
No.
Okay, with that, we'll go to old business. Jessica?
Public hearing on ordinance number 7-26, Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, ordinance establishing a handicap parking space on South Edward Street.
At this time, I'll open the public portion for questions or comments on this ordinance. Are there questions or comments? There being none, I'll entertain a motion. Councilman Khaleesi.
I move the public hearing to be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Khaleesi,
Yes.
Blumer,
Yes.
Novak,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Sinarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
Okay, new business, Jessica?
Introduction of the following ordinance, ordinance number 8-26, an ordinance of the Borough of Saraville updating and amending the borough's affordable housing and development fee ordinances pursuant to the amended Fair Housing Act and the new UHAC regulations. And I just want to also note, Councilman Zabrowski, when you're making that motion, that public hearing is scheduled for April 27th due to it being referred to the planning board.
Okay, with that, I'll open the public portion for questions.
Go.
I can't hear.
Just introduction.
It's introduction. Okay, Councilman Zabrowski?
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading, advertised according to law, and a public hearing to be held on April 27th, 2026.
Is there a second? Roll call.
Councilpersons Zabrowski,
Yes.
Blumer,
Yes.
Khaleesi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes, but do you think we could, Councilman Zabrowski, if we could have the planner at that meeting, at the public meeting? That way, if there's any questions that we can't answer?
I think that's a
Would that
great
be
idea.
possible?
Yes, Mary, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
Rios,
Yes.
Sinarski.
Yes.
Public portion on the
Right.
resolution.
Okay, resolutions. This time I'll open the public portion for questions or comments on any and all of the resolutions. Are there any? Robert?
Bob Duffy, 111 Merritt Avenue. On the resolution, is this, I hope I'm on the right one, the authorization or purchase of a modular vehicle barrier?
What's the number, Bob?
Didn't know number on it.
That's on the agenda. Yep.
You're early.
Okay, okay.
You're early. Do you have any questions?
The hearing went.
I got you. Mine went and didn't come back. All right. Are there any questions or comments? Being no questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion. Council President.
I move the public hearing be closed and the consent agenda resolution be approved on roll call vote.
Is there a second? Roll call?
Councilperson Zabrowski,
Yes.
Blumer,
Yes.
Polisi,
Yes.
Novak.
Yes, just one question on 92. Will this include the Rainbow Bridge or is it just the walkways?
That's 91.
91's the Kennedy Park walkway.
Okay, I'm sorry, 91.
Just the walkways.
Just the walkways, thank you.
Okay, correspondence?
Nope, I got to
No,
finish.
gotta
roll call.
finish.
I'm sorry.
Rios,
Yes.
Jeez,
Narski.
Yes.
all over the place tonight. And I'm not
I need a
even taking.
Motion to accept the correspondence.
So moved.
Second.
Councilpersons Novak,
Yes.
Blumer,
Yes.
Polisi,
Yes.
Rios,
Yes.
Sinarski,
Yes.
Zabrowski.
Yes.
Okay, mayor and council reports, administration and finance, Councilwoman Novak.
Yes. The budget by law has to be introduced at the next meeting. I only received a copy of it tonight. And the committee will be meeting sometime next week with, I'm assuming, the business administrator as well as the CFO. And hopefully there won't be any surprises or any problems because we will be introducing the first meeting in April, correct? Okay. Other than that, I do have a request to be made. Can we please increase the temporary budget for cultural arts so they can schedule some of their groups for this? Because if they're not scheduled soon, we won't be able to have any, music in the park. And that was so well attended last year. Right now, there's only $1,000 in the temporary budget. And we need to, have more money in there so that they can.
It starts a bad precedent, Mary.
Not really. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah,
of things.
really, it does, because, these are rules of procurement. And they need to be followed, and they're not followed. So,
Mayor?
and I'm not looking to scold anyone, but there's always a reason why not to follow the rule. I'm looking for people who can manage within the rules. So the bigger question is, if it's not possible for the current people to manage within the rules of procurement of the state of New Jersey, then they need to consider what they're doing there.
Mayor, it just seems to me that before the budget was approved, a motion was made, and it was a 3-3 tie to give Jaffe a $40,000 contract. Now, we didn't have any budget then, but you're telling me that we can approve that. You can break the tie and approve that before the permanent budget, but we can't let the cultural arts have more money in their temporary budget?
We did that with all the professionals. Wasn't just the Jaffe Communications. We did that with the engineers, the attorneys.
Okay, the engineers and the attorneys are needed.
Everything.
We don't need this guy,
Mary, I've
giving
been
us
through
11
this with
things.
Cultural arts before, nothing, the world is not gonna end, and it starts a bad precedent. If youth recreation isn't doing this, I don't see any reason why
But
anybody else is.
it must not be true because we're advertising all of these events, so there must be
Well, they
contracts
shouldn't
being
be,
passed.
Mary. Number one, they shouldn't be because they're not allowed to make a contract. Which part of this aren't people understanding? They cannot make a contract on behalf of the borough and encumber money.
No, I know that. I talked to the attorney and he, originally I thought he had to approve it and he told me it had to go through Brian. And Brian was going to approve them last Friday morning.
But nobody has money. There's no money to be encumbered.
We have enough
Well,
money to
listen,
give
all
this
right.
guy $40,000 to do a couple of
Mary,
Facebook ads.
We-
All right,
we
I
did
understand.
millions of dollars
You
on
don't care.
January 1st
You
before
don't
we had a
care
budget.
about,
Mary, I
Secretary,
started
if I
the
might.
cultural arts, and I know you're trying to make this a political.
this isn't political. I feel very strongly about this. You
Mary-
know I didn't vote for
Mary-
Jaffe to start with.
Mary, it has nothing to do with with Jaffe Communications. This is being used as a political ploy for the upcoming election.
No, it isn't.
One of the candidates happens to be the liaison, and as usual, It's taken out of complete context. So you want.
I'm going to make a motion that we increase the temporary budget
And then we'll go with
for
the.
cultural arts so they can, so Brian will then be able.
What's the amount of money that you want them to have above and all others?
I think they should have at least 50% of last year's budget in this year so
Right now.
that they can start to do it. Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, roll call?
%50 of last year's budget?
Yes, please.
Novak,
Yes.
Lumiere,
Yes.
Khaleesi,
I have a question for either Danielle or EA. Is this going to get the borough in trouble and audits and all this? Is this, are we reaching far for this, or, just something, to get the ball started would be nice. Being that it's not much to start, but
Increasing the temporary budget by a resolution would not, but from what I understand is that there are purchases being made without a purchase order, which is what has given rise to the problem.
Not, what purchases were made?
Well, I believe that they're out making contracts without a purchase order, so I wouldn't know. I can't tell you what they are.
No, they would, all the contracts were turned over to Brian. And he said he was,
Before we do this, let's find out what we're doing here. But a motion's been made, a roll call has to be made. But I would advise the governing body to vote no on this until, there's always an exception. And if you cannot be a good audience member, I'd ask you to leave. So let's finish up with the roll call, but I think if we're gonna start a new precedent that everybody, it's like George Orwell's Animal Farm, everybody's equal except some people are more equal than others. And I think that has always, in the 25 years I've sat up here, when you start a precedent like that, it leads to no good. There are simple rules of procurement, there are simple rules of budget that we've followed. And if we stray from the path, then everybody can come to us and say, well, why are you doing for them and not for me? And and my whole quarter century experience is, it just leads to no good. So with that, continue the roll call.
well, then in that case, I'm going to vote no, but I would like to see something happen with the contracts, at least if monies aren't exchanged, going forward. But yeah, it makes sense with what the mayor is saying about procurement rules. So, okay, it's a no.
Rios,
It's a yes for me, and I'm sorry that this is being characterized as a political point. It's not. There's talent that needs to be booked, because if we don't book them, they're gonna book somewhere else. So there's a time issue here. It's nothing about political. I don't know where that comes from. We just want to get these bands and these acts, these talents booked so we can get the ball rolling. If this doesn't pass, I would like to talk about how we can achieve that.
You get what, Alberto?
How we can achieve that. How we can achieve
You have to
getting those.
change the whole budgeting, so you'd have to change the whole way we budget, and the budget, it's
It's just because
what you're
what
doing.
we're trying to do is book talent. So it's
get
different
that.
from everything else that we do as a.
Alberto, there's always, in my long experience, there's always a reason to not do it according to the rules. Always, there's never not been a reason not to do it by the rules. So the question is, once you start and you go down that path, every exception that has been made in the 25 years I've sat here has further down the road come back to haunt us. And this will be no exception.
I understand that. And I'm
And
not
that,
even
and that's the
asking-
point I'm making.
No, and I
So-
get that, but we're not asking for the budget to be released. We're asking
I
for,
talked to Brian about talent. He said there are lists and services for talent. It's not like if we don't book it in the next 2 weeks, it's not, there's not gonna be,
it could happen because the
Listen.
talent might book somewhere else.
Alberto,
Mayor,
the
the-
sky could fall. That could happen.
Of course.
It's going to be the beginning of May
Listen, but
before
we
we
haven't finished the roll
adopt the
call.
budget.
So why don't you made your vote?
Well, that
you
was
made
my
your
comment. Thank you.
All right.
Sinarski.
When is the budget going to be approved for cultural arts? Does anybody can answer that?
Probably, what would that be, the second meeting in May or the first meeting in May? We intro,
We have to, if we're introing in April, we may be, I have to look at the dates for, because you have to have it so many
It has to
days.
be a month.
Does anybody else feel that's a little bit late for like any of the committees to start doing anything, especially people that do stuff in the summer that would like to have these people booked and stuff like that? I'm a no because you can't break the rules. There's rules are established. The signs were put up. There was no money in the budget for signs to be put up. That's why the signs were taken down.
That stuff was, or Brian already signed contracts for those and you took the signs down.
Mary, it's Sasha's comment. It's not a dialogue.
What the signs were, had nothing to do with the concerts. That's why I was pointing. The motion is to put money in the budget for the concert. The signs.
Mary, it's not your turn to speak. You've spoken.
All
All
right.
right, next vote.
I'm a no, but like I said, I wish we can do something to get these committees money earlier so this problem wouldn't be happening now.
Contracts have already been signed.
So that's the state law.
State law, temporary budget is state law.
How did we run cultural arts for years before? Like I never had this,
We just did it how we
Brian signed.
do it every year.
I never had a problem before. We group booked bands, we did things. I don't know what the problem is now though.
All right, so next vote.
Okay, Zabrowski.
Yes, what comment? I'm hoping that this is a one-off. I understand that we're booking talent for the first time. But the hope is that they'll understand in the future that there is a procedure that needs to be followed. But I do think there's sufficient checks and balances for this
I didn't realize that.
for this vote.
I did not know about that.
What was his vote?
Yes.
Pass, okay. Pass.
Okay, so it passed, Mary. Okay,
I got a few more questions. And I don't know whether it can do this with Joe. Is there any status update on that? I don't know if we do.
Yeah, that's special.
Oh, that's for the, with the other, yeah, that, I don't have an update on that, so it's probably, it is pending litigation, so it's probably more appropriate to be in an executive session discussion, but that's more of the other attorney we hired. I don't have the ins and outs of that, so I wouldn't be able to provide an update either way.
John, this is for you. How is that sale on the land? Or is it? Not? Oh, I'm sorry.
Len, go ahead.
We've been ready to execute that closing and we can't because one of the other responsible parties for the ongoing upkeep for the landfill monitoring has filed an objection with the EPA. So we are currently working to try to overcome that obstacle. The project had full approval and permitting from the state at the DEP, but the EPA now would like to do another review and thus the reason for the delay in the closing on the landfill.
Okay, but the electric is fine now? Because I know there was. a
Yes,
problem.
the electric
Okay.
situation was addressed.
Did we ever finalize the cable franchise agreement?
No.
No. Are we going to?
Well, we could bring them back again in front of the council.
How are we operating with the previous?
Mhm.
Okay, I just, maybe we should check into that. I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay.
Anything else,
Did-
Mary?
One more thing. The council asked you to reach out to Mako one more time. Did you reach out to him?
The following morning, I emailed him directly. He has not given me a response.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all I need. Mayor, one other thing for the the budget, I wanted to ask Danielle, because as I passed gas pumps today, I'm just wondering, did we budget enough for fuel? Because the prices are just going through the roof.
Well, that was, it's funny that you asked that because that was a line item that was on my chopping block to get cut. And because of current events right now, I did not cut it and I left it at the funding that we had last year. And because we spent under,
Yeah, okay.
way under
I just,
last
when I
year.
passed and I saw the price to a diesel, and I realized I was looking at prices that include taxes, but diesel has just gone through
Yeah.
absolute roof. And I said, oh my God, when we sent in the numbers from Public Works, was it as the prices were going down or, Okay, thank you. I did want to, before I go through this whole thing, thank you very much. That's it, Mayor.
Okay, Public Safety, Councilman Blamore.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The fire department has planned training in the upcoming month to keep our members fresh and up to date with all the latest equipment. They'd also like to thank all mutual aid companies for their continued assistance. We'd like for the community to know that recruitment is ongoing and we look forward to upcoming events to communicate to our residents who are willing and interested in joining the fire department. There was one structure fire which was extinguished swiftly with no injuries reported. And congratulations to our chief, Daniel Plumarker, who graduated from the FBI National Academy on March 18th. Also, we'd like to report on Friday, March 20th at 3:12 a.m., there was a fatal motor vehicle accident on Bordentown Avenue and Robert Street. The deceased party collided with a tractor trailer. He was from East Brunswick Township. On Friday, March 13th at 7:37 a.m., there was a structure fire at 189 Washington Road. The residents sustained significant water and fire damage. An arrest was made in connection with the fire and no injuries were reported. And lastly, I am making a motion that the council authorize the business administrator to meet with the Port Authority to discuss and develop a memorandum of understanding regarding the use of the Boas gun range.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Blumer,
Yes.
Khaleesi,
No, not yet. We have to discuss further details on that.
Novak,
Yes, I see it as this quickest way to get the sound barrier up there that is necessary. Port Authority is willing to invest a lot of money in the range if they have a memorandum of agreement. And I think this is a positive step.
Rios,
Yes.
Donarski,
The first thing, we don't know what kind of sound barriers have to be produced. I was there. I am too young and too new about this gun range to make a decision like that. That's going to impact Saraville. I was here last year when all of the people from Laurel Park were here flipping out. And I have a duty to all of those people to make it safe for them. I have a person, a friend of ours, personal, that lived on Kendall Drive. They tapped out. They left. They moved to Spotswood because they can't take it. Also, what I found out today is that just because you could hear firearms being fired, that doesn't mean the decibel level is too high, which I never understood. I figured, like at my house, if I feel, and I'm in my yard and I hear them shooting in my yard, and it's annoying me where it's overriding the radio or it's where we're talking in the yard barbecuing, just because the decibel level is not at a certain level, that means it's legal. I want a study done, and I talked to Glenn about it. They're going to possibly do a study where it costs under $10,000 to do a sound study. They'll have different locations throughout the town to find out if this could be annoying or not. And I have a duty also to the Saraville Police Department. That was established for Saraville Police. It wasn't established for every municipality in the state. I know the Transit or Port Authority does a lot for Saraville and they want to improve it. Then fine, I am all for the improvements. But there has to be more homework done before you can, what kind of improvements? When I was there the other day, I seen the barriers are, to me, poor condition. It's obvious that the barriers got to be reconstructed and hired to do some deadening for the sound. But it's not ready to have that many people. Yes, now for long arms, they all have suppressors on them. They're fine. They're all good. But I'm not ready for it yet, so I'm a no.
It's not going to be any more shooting than there is now.
Mary, it's not, we're taking a vote.
Zabrowski.
My answer is no with comment. When I was the chief of police and we brought the project of rebuilding or building a new facility for our police department range to the mayor and council, I made a promise to that council at that time that the range and the building would be solely for the purpose of the use of the Saraville Police Department. I stand firm on that promise that it should be that way. To add another 2,200 officers from the Port Authority to that location would certainly not be doing any good credit to our police department, nor to the quiet enjoyment of our community. My answer remains no.
Okay.
That's 3-3, Mayor.
Okay. I'm in tune with the council president, our former chief of police. The gun range was for this police department, which has 90 members. The Port Authority has a firing range need for over 2,200 officers, and they need to, the nature of their work, they need to practice with automatic and semi-automatic. And long story short, you know, you go up 30 or 23-fold in the amount of people using that range. It gets distracting to the residents. It gets frightening to the residents. And it wasn't what we had hoped it would be. So a wise man will just say, hey, it didn't work out and move forward. So my vote is no. Next item. Anything else, Mary, or Councilman Blumer?
Can I comment on everything?
Sure.
Well, I live by the range on Balmer Road, and a year ago, yes, it was really bad.
Right.
One reason is because we have the warehouses, because we no longer have the trees, because I've been there for 8 years, and that was my first time hearing it, and I was totally against it. But I must say right now, the sound is reduced by about 60 to 70%. Why? Because it's mandatory for them to use suppressors now. The only time we cannot use suppressors is when they are using shotguns. And not only that, this time of year, you're gonna hear it more than usual because the trees don't have any foliage on them. And when we met with the Shade Tree Commission, who says that if we need more trees, they will plant them. And I made the suggestion of planting what is called the giant arborvitaes because they really absorb the sound. So I introduced it because if the Port Authority is willing to spend money for the walls and with the study, and the sounds have gone down tremendously, meaning that anything else we do will make it even better.
Well, are we doing this for the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, or do we have the firing range for the safety and protection of the people of Saraville?
We are doing it for both, for the safety, primarily is for the safety of the people of Saraville.
Okay, so, all right.
However, if we were able, with this revenue, we're able to improve the sound by putting walls, covers, more trees and so on. So this is why I wanted for us to look.
Hervé, you're new, and there's nothing, everybody starts out new. So that being said, the questions that you need to run through your mind is, do the citizens of Saraville want to provide a facility for 2,200 law enforcement officers who are tremendous to practice using automatic weapons in our town? And that is really the gist of the question. Do the people of Saraville want to open the door of hospitality and say, we are okay with 2,200 officers coming to Saraville to practice with automatic weapons for the work they do. And the work they do is critical for the United States of America. It's critical for New York and New Jersey, particularly the ports and the airports and the bridges and the tunnels. So, but do we want to be the host community, regardless of how much money they put into a range? Do we want to be the host for that much gunfire? And and I'm not looking for an answer, but that's the question everybody sitting up here really has to answer for themselves. Do we want to be the host community? And once you sign that contract, then if all of a sudden we say, well, we really didn't want it, we weren't aware that it was going to be that unnerving to that many people, and we want to get out of it, then we got to go into breach of contract.
As I
So
understand it.
that's why I'm saying to you, you have to say, is this what the people of Saraville want?
I understand. As I understand it, the MOU will be for 1 year.
Well, we just finished an MOU and we declined to renew it because the people of Saraville didn't want it. So I don't see what's changed since we declined to renew it and today.
What's changed is the fact that now they are using suppressors and the sounds are way. That's what
Listen,
that
I'm
was the
just
big
saying.
change. Because, like I said before, this change was made. I was against it, but thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything else, Councilman?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. Councilman Rios, Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, fellow council members and members of the public. Public work continues to operate as usual, and the department is staying busy as we transition into the spring season and prepare for the upcoming summer months. At this time, the Department of Sanitation is in need of hiring one part-time employee to help fill a temporary gap due to an employee taking a 6-month leave of absence. Aside from that, all divisions are continuing their regular duties, and the team is actively working to keep up with seasonal demands. I got a couple comments. That's my report for Public Works. I received a complaint from a resident, maybe this is for Hervé or Mike, regarding speeding on Pine Tree Drive. Explained the challenges to the resident with installing speed bumps, including difficulties during snow and winter maintenance. As an alternative, I suggested installing a speed feedback sign to let the drivers know how fast they're going as a deterrent, which is a proven method to slow traffic and improve safety. I've driven by that road and I can see people speeding, and I wasn't, but the residents are really, really concerned about the situation.
Well, we can also always talk to the traffic safety officer and see what can be done about that.
All right. I also attended the Shade Tree Commission meeting where we discussed adding cherry blossom trees to a designated area in Kennedy Park. This is going to be a wonderful addition that would enhance the park and the community space. Suggestions from residents like Sharon and others have been very helpful, and we're all excited about the project's outcome. We also discussed the rainbow idea from our president, and the commission fully supports it and hopes to be somewhat involved in it. I'd like to make a comment on recreational department fees. There's some complaints that I've received also. And just want to remind the Saraville School District is a Title I district, which means a significant number of our families are low to moderate income. That should guide how we think about access to recreation, because for many of these families, these programs are not a luxury, but a necessity. A single child in Burke's Park costs $370 with early drop-off, $370. If you add basketball, soccer, softball, and for a family with 2 kids, that's $2,500 for 6 weeks of summer programs. So we need to ask, who are we catering these programs to, and are we really thinking of, about our school district? Because I can't afford that. So maybe there's some ways that we can look into that, making programs more affordable to our average citizen. Lastly, just want to comment to talk about something simple but important. And it is how we move forward together. It's been over, elections are behind us, and now we're here for one reason, to work for our residents. And that means judging ideas not by who brings them forward, but by whether they actually help the people we serve. And I'll be honest, it's frustrating at times. I look forward to the day when I can do my report without immediately hearing some sort of comment as to why what I did is not allowed, or some sort of counterproductive response. That's not productive, and it's not what our residents expect from us. A good idea is a good idea, no matter where it comes from. The council president recently suggested an idea to recognize and remember our pets. I thought that was great. It doesn't matter that we may be on different sides politically. If something has value, it deserves support. Right now, too many of our conversations feel filtered based on who is speaking instead of what is being said. And I think that needs to change. Take the Zoom motion I introduced, for example, because I think it highlights a bigger issue in how we're working together. When I introduced that idea, it was met with a lot of pushback, concerns about infrastructure, about studies that were supposedly shared, about how we would monitor participants. But the majority of us know we already have the infrastructure in place. There was no study shared with all council members, and the idea that we can't manage participation doesn't hold up. Are designed so the host controls microphones and participation. So what are we really talking about here? Because from where I'm sitting, it feels less about the merits of the idea and more about where it came from. This proposal was never about grandstanding or accommodating one single person. It's about access. It's about transparency. It's about giving more residents the ability to see, hear, and engage with their local government. And those are goals we should all support. We can disagree, that's part of the job. But those disagreements should be grounded in facts and focus on what's best for our residents, not assumptions or dismissals. If an idea improves access and transparency, it deserves a fair evaluation. I'm asking that we take a step back and refocus on that standard because our residents deserve that level of honesty and fairness from all of us. Thank you.
Okay. Recreation, Councilman Khaleesi.
All right, good evening, everyone. Starting with recreation, the Easter egg hunt is this Saturday, March 28th, 9 o'clock sharp. And it's going to be on the turf field behind the borough in that football area. So just a reminder to bring your own basket, and the Easter Bunny will be there for pictures. So that's this Saturday. Spring program registration is still open, with a lot of great options for all ages. Things like little kids' playtime, after-school sports at the UES, tennis and pickleball clinics, skateboarding, youth training, adult yoga, parent and me painting, trivia night, and even a Somerset Patriots night. Summer camp registration is also underway for the Berks Park Camp, sports camps, and the science camp. Next, over at the Office on Aging, there's a full schedule of events coming up. So tomorrow, there's a Family Feud event, followed by stress management on the 25th. A Social Security and Retirement workshop is on the 26th. And a cybersecurity presentation is going to be presented on the 30th. So in April, they have the Puerto Rican, what is that called? PRAB, Puerto Rican
help?
Association. Yeah. Action Board. So, you're right. We'll be here on the 6th. So they're going to help the seniors file for benefits. Next is Middlesex County. They'll host a craft workshop on April 10th. And then Robert Wood Johnson will be here on the 13th, April 13th, talking about chronic stress and its effects on the body. That'll be good. From Human Relations, their Black History Month event was held on March 16th after being rescheduled due to the winter storm that we had. So special thanks to Jarrett Lampert for a great presentation to all the folks that showed up. We had a great turnout. And also to the New Jersey SEA for providing the snacks. It was actually pretty good this time. So on April, the Human Relations are gonna focus on volunteerism. So you'll see community volunteers and advocates being highlighted on social media throughout the month. So cultural arts, as you know, they're working on their first event, which is a teen night on April 10th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Rec Center, which is the Mickey Sedlak building on Dolan Street. So there'll be a DJ, which is also Jarrett Lampkin. And they're going to have a game truck, food trucks. So it should be a pretty good night for our teens. And I'm glad that we can open up these contracts and get some talent on board so we can continue with our summer. So, and then I got a couple of positive notes here. We have a new playground coming in on Buchanan Riverfront Park. It's expected to be delivered tomorrow. It was supposed to come in today, but I guess with the weather, they pushed it up until tomorrow. So that's going to be installed right away. So that's going to be a big upgrade to the park down on the waterfront. So also new lighting for the Little League is scheduled to arrive the first week of April and installed shortly thereafter. So I know the Little League opening day is April 11th. So that equipment will be staged off to the side in the basketball court. So there'll be plenty of room for everybody to park for the opening day ceremonies. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Water, Sewer, Environmental, Councilman Sinarski.
Thank you, Mayor. The first comment I have is about, Mary asked me about drought situation at the last meeting. There is no real drought situation in Sayreville. The state definitely has drought situations throughout the state. We've only had a little over 3.5 inches of rain in the last few months. So I got the message that we still are under a conserve water, and just be cautious with your water. You know, other than that, on the water and sewer, I am glad they're working on Eugene Boulevard. I get a lot of complaints about smells on Eugene Boulevard. We have a pump station there, and smells, I've been involved in MCUA for many years. Smells can come from a lot of different things, whether the well's too high, too low, things turn septic. There's a lot of things that they're doing to correct it. They're actually putting in special fans that have louvers that are going to be built on, that so the fan's not exposed to the well. The fan, when the well fan stops, the louvers are going to close, so it should seal the well. That still shouldn't let any air come out. So I'm glad that we're making positive steps with the residents to keep them happy as far as the smells go. We produced 146 million gallons last month. That's like an average. It's going to be going up as the summer and spring starts. We've had like 8 water line breaks, and that's like an average also per month. Different locations of Sayreville where the ground moves and stuff, and the water lines are antiquated underground. So I mentioned last year that we're going to have to start budgeting a lot of money for infrastructure for a lot of water lines in town. That's going to be a big problem. As far as the community garden, we had a meeting at Mickey Sedlak's place last week, and we had a very good turnout. And Anton was very happy that there's going to be a lot of people signed up, plus the people that signed up at the first meeting. So things are moving forward with that. And other than that, that's the end of my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Sinarski. Planning and Zoning, Council President Zabrowski.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have two quick items. Number one, just a reminder that this Thursday, between 5 and 8 p.m. at the Active Adult Center, Jupiter Power, the developer who is interested in putting a battery storage facility on the old JCP&L site, will be holding a public participation meeting. It is less presentation and more an opportunity for any of our folks in the community that may have questions, concerns, or are simply interested to meet the developer and the developer's professionals. And obviously they get their answers answered or their questions answered. So again, 5 to 8 at the Active Adult Center. And then secondly, a thank you to Nicole for running the social media survey for the Rainbow Bridge. Although it was a non-scientific poll, I think what we found was that there is great support for doing this. I appreciate everybody from the community that had interest and actually expressed that interest, and looking forward to the planning stage. And Mayor, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mayor.
Yeah. Well, too.
On Thursday, we're gonna be meeting, like Councilman Zawadzki just said, with Jupiter Power. I find that when we're meeting with these people, they will only present one side of the ledger, right? That benefits them. Do we have a counter? Do we have an expert that would help us make better decisions? Because none of us here are experts on these things.
Oh, we'll have the borough engineers will be there. I'm not sure who all the attendees are, but on the borough side, Jay, your staff will be there?
Mayor, I think this was just an informal presentation for residents.
What, Hervé, are you looking for a point counterpoint?
No, what it is that, okay, if I'm selling something here, all I'm gonna come and I'm gonna tell you all the good stuff about it and so on and so forth.
No, that's why I asked, is it point counterpoint?
Yeah, because I need somebody from our side to tell us whether this
All right,
is a
so
good
Jay-
idea or not and what the dangers could be.
Jay, if you would, have people from your office there. So that if there's a negative to this, you'll hear it.
And generally speaking, as a project gets proposed and goes through the process, it has an initial, we have an engineer seated at the redevelopment agency as well as a planner. And then, of course, here at the council level, we have that availability as well. So you're free to consult with those professionals and they should, give you the fair shake on it and tell you exactly what's going on. Those are our in-house experts.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, we'll move to general discussion on agenda items.
Application for a social affair permit received from St. Stanislaus Kuska RC Church to serve beer and wine at their annual parish carnival on June 19th.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to bill the owner of 144 Washington Road a total of $325 plus administrative costs for the removal of a substantial amount of overgrowth from their property.
Any objection? Next item.
One comment on that one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of debris at that house that was taken out of the house. That was going on property. That debris from the roof.
That was addressed.
Oh, that
I had calls from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Glenn got involved. It was
But there's no
addressed.
billing for that? That's gonna be free?
That I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
On the house on Washington Road, when the heirs were emptying it out, are they paying any penalty or fine for doing that?
Because this has about clearing brush, but it doesn't have anything about all the costs for the removal, because there was a lot of garbage out there. There was a lot
No,
of
this
stuff.
might be when we were cutting the grass.
This is from last season when we did the cutting.
All right, so
For some reason, it wasn't submitted in a timely fashion.
Okay.
We followed up and that's in there now. So that will go in addition to any other liens on the property from the property not being in compliance, and the borough will recoup whatever we spend.
All right, so this is last year.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Application for a membership as a firefighter received from Aiden Williams. He was accepted by Morgan Hosen Chemical Company.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to purchase one modular vehicle barrier system from Safeware Inc. Through Sourcewell contract in an amount not to exceed $147,223.
Any objection?
Yeah, what is this?
That's the thing okay, you got it.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that is.
Yep. So one of the things that keeps me up at night is when we have events out here and we close the road, we have events in Kennedy Park where we have that nice, long, straight shot driveway down. And in this day and age where we have to be always worried about not being an easy target, we had explored internally a couple of ways that we could deter this kind of activity. We were just going to go get big concrete blocks and have DPW put them out strategically when needed. Come to find out that although they're big and heavy, when a vehicle hits them, they slide and they don't do what's necessary. OEM came up with this vendor that did a presentation. This vehicle barrier system will give us the ability to block the equivalent of 6 lanes of highway traffic. To give you an idea of the length, we can deploy as little or as many of them as required for the job, and it will absolutely provide safety and stop vehicles up to and including a box truck. So God forbid we were having an event on a closed road or in one of our parks, we can deter that activity and make sure that all of the participants are safely cared for in that regard. We had a demonstration out here last week. We had representatives from police, fire, OEM, and DPW. They were all extraordinarily satisfied with the demonstration and the supporting documents, and they recommended that we petition the council to make this purchase. We were able to locate some funding in the budget to do this for out of last year's capital money, and would like permission to proceed with that.
Next item.
Authorization to execute an agreement with the Township of Old Bridge and Middlesex County for improvements to the intersection of Journey Mill Road and Bordentown Avenue.
Any objection?
I just have a question. The developer are they paying any of this money to improve that intersection? That are redoing Sunshine Biscuit?
Which developer?
The one that's redoing Sunshine Biscuit.
To my knowledge, this is a county project, is it not, Jay?
So we're not,
This covers the borough's water and sewer improvements. There's approximately $30,000 worth of infrastructure improvements that the borough has to do. So that's what this agreement covers.
thank you.
Next item.
Authorization for the assignment assumption of the groundskeeping contract currently held by Chris Lawn Care LLC to GK Landscaping of South Amboy for the remainder of the contract in an amount not to exceed $101,852.48 due to the dissolution of Chris Lawn Care.
Any objection? Next item.
Request to waive fees from ordinance number 37-25, special event received from St. Stan's.
Is this standard?
Yeah.
Well, we changed the ordinance last year, so anybody who had over, I think, 200 people, they would have to pay a $200 fee, or they can waive it. The mayor and council can waive
We
that.
waived it yet?
We waived it last meeting for the Dorcadish Temple.
Okay. Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to award a contract to Pyro Star Entertainment LLC for the 2026 Independence Day fireworks to be held on June 27th in an amount not to exceed $25,000.
Any objection? Next item.
Authorization to purchase two 2026 Ford F-250 utility trucks from Chiaka Ford of Flemington for the water department through NJ State contract in an amount not to exceed $140,672.20.
Any objection? Okay. Business Administrator's
Just
report.
3 items, Mayor. Thank you. Request received from John Palermo for a 6-month leave of absence from the Department of Public Works effective April 1st, 2026.
Any objection to it, Glenn?
No, we have a provision in the
Okay.
collective bargaining agreement where employees that are seeking to go to the police academy have the option to put in
Okay.
for, now, just, he's not going for our police academy, but he does have a bill in the police academy for another municipality.
I just have a question. There was an email, I think it was, or a text, I'm not really sure, that I received today that the superintendent of public works is requesting that if we do give this guy a 6-month, we're coming into heavy trash. He would like a replacement.
Well, he's like with all my department heads, he's free to come up and let me know when he has a problem so I can help him with that. But as of this moment, he's not yet done that.
I think you were part of the email
No.
chain. No? Okay, thought you were. But it's probably something we should think about. We can't be afford to losing people in public works. We're coming into our heaviest season. Well, except for snow plowing this year.
Authorization to appoint Eric Springlode to record support technician in the police department effective April 1st, 2026 to fill a vacancy.
Is he a new hire?
Yes.
He's brand new?
Brand new.
Any
Is he a
objection?
resident of Sayreville?
As far as I know, yes. It's Arnold's son. On Lisa Man Squad, I thought you did.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. Okay.
Okay, next item.
Authorization to renew the agreement with the Central Jersey Joint Insurance Fund.
Any objection? CFO's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Progress.
Okay. Borough Engineers report.
Thank you, Mayor. One item, 2023 road project Phase 2 has been completed, recommending a resolution closing out the contract and also approving a net reduction change order. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Borough Attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I think it's actually the first time I have a report. I usually say I don't. As part of our ongoing compliance with fourth round affordable housing, we have certain obligations we have to do by law. One is adopting a spending plan for Affordable Housing Trust Fund, affirmative marketing plan, and to put forth a program for our rehabilitation program that's already established by ordinance, but we have to adopt these by resolution. These are part of our ongoing, they've been part of our third round and second round as well. It's just another step that we have to go as part of the process. So we need resolutions authorizing that. If I could have that authorized for or prepared, I would suggest we put that on for the April 27th meeting, because that's the same date as the public hearing on the affordable housing ordinance, where our planners may be attending as well. So that way, if there's any questions, it kind of put it all together.
Okay, any objection? Okay, anything else, Counselor?
That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'm going to open the public portion for questions or comments on any and all issues. Robert?
Bob Duffy, 111 Merritt Avenue. I want to talk about that modular vehicle barrier. And I don't think everybody on the council knows what it really is. I know Glenn does. And I'm going to direct all my questions to Glenn. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. Glenn, is it possible, instead of buying that product, to leasing it, or I mean, renting it when you need it?
We explored that. The problem is twofold. I don't remember the exact number of events where it would wind up coming out to be a wash between leasing and buying. And the second thing is they only have, I wouldn't say a limited, but they have a finite number of those that are available for rent and for lease. It's first come, first served. So if we need something for a date and don't get it in early enough, we're out of luck and we don't get them.
Well, you know, you usually know your events ahead of time, that you can schedule it way ahead of time. So you would probably be able to get it. And the other thing is, you said 6 lanes. Do we need that big of a barrier for 6 lanes?
Well, it gives
I don't
us-
think we're stopping any traffic off the turnpike.
I was just given that to give you an idea of how long and how much we could accommodate. We can make these as short or as long as we need to, so it gives us the flexibility. I'll give you a good example. If we're going to hard close Main Street for Veterans Day, as we normally do, that's 4 sets, and we can completely and safely close down Main Street. If we have something in Kennedy Park, we can't shut off entirely the only vehicular access. So we can take 4 or 5 elements of this and we can offset them. So any vehicle coming down has to slow and can't get up ahead of speed. So God forbid there is an incident, we can see it coming and people can disperse.
Okay, so on Memorial Day, you have a street closure. Everything else is in the park. So we should be spending 140 some odd.
Well, we have Memorial Day, we have Veterans Day, we have a 4th of July event. We had the kids set up over here in the parking lot for the Christmas celebration. So and we have a fair amount, and I think moving forward, there's quite a few applications we'll have with this, and having the ability to have it and our officers able to deploy it on a moment's notice, we thought it was a good tool to have.
Okay, now the other thing is who is going to install these? Public Works or the police?
Either can do it. It takes 2 adults to set this up.
2 adults.
2 adults.
And they
And it
can
doesn't
lift
have to be
up, they can
anybody.
lift them up, and how
Yes.
did they set them up? I wasn't at the,
Yeah, we can,
they're
they,
kind of heavy, aren't they?
they're 51 pounds per segment and they get hooked together by a particular system. So it's 51 pounds at a time. And once it's assembled in whatever configuration it is, 1 adult on one end, 1 on the other, there's these tilt rods. They have wheels on them and they can be moved into position.
Okay, I just didn't want nobody to get hurt. Then we have compensation and stuff, you know what I mean? That's why I would sometimes rather rent it and let them install it. And if they get hurt, it's them, it's not us. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. The other question I have is Cat's Lawn Care LLC to GK Landscaping of South Amboy. Does that have to go out for a bid again? Could anybody just come up?
We
and
had the
take-
same question internally, and we ran it by our qualified purchasing agent, who ran it by our auditor, and we were okay to just make that transfer because he's taking over the business and taking over all the obligations that were awarded under the
Okay,
contract.
all right. Just wanted to know.
Yes, I was also involved in that
Okay.
discussion. I researched it, and yes, given these circumstances, it's appropriate that we can assign this rather than rebid it, because that was one of the concerns I had as well,
Yeah.
was whether we needed to rebid it.
I'm only a layman up here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Anyone else? Sharon?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to,
You have to announce your name and
Oh.
your street.
Sharon Road is 22nd Street, Sayreville, New Jersey. All right, so I wanted to just start off because I know there was a question about how did we book or who was booking the events. We had a cultural arts meeting on March 5th. Michael was present, Stosh was present, and Brian, the rec manager, was present. We presented our whole season. They told us to move forward. We don't do things on our own. We don't have that authority to do things on our own. A couple days later, I got a email from Brian that the trucks, the game trucks, were ordered. I didn't order them. I don't have the authority to order them. We all thought we were moving forward. Michael and Stosh were there. I presented photos, ideas. The team all voted on it. We thought we were moving forward. Who authorized those signs taken down on Friday?
I had the signs removed because we were advertising an event that had not yet been funded. And had it not been funded, we were going to have people clamoring for an event that could not be held.
But Mary had said to me about a week or two ago, we have $1,000 in a secure fund. We had, based on Brian moving forward and two council people at the meeting, we thought that was good enough as authority. We don't do it on our own. That meant that we were going forward. And we have this backup of $1,000 in the account. So that covered the event.
Well, you're a little bit short of that, but first of all purchasing for the borough must be done by an agent of the borough, an employee.
Brian,
Yes.
okay.
And I spoke to him and he did not issue a PO for signs.
She did 5 signs for free for us, just so you know. And 2 of them
I'm
I had in
misinformed
my
that. I was
yard.
told that the cost was $160 for the signs.
Okay, we gave her 2 old signs. She just repurposes them. They were not paid in, front right now, and it was part of the $1,000 we thought that was sitting there. Regardless, we thought we could move forward, being we had people in the room with us in the meeting.
The administration, the employees, the rank and file are here to assist you in achieving your overall objectives. But we cannot lose sight of the fact that any purchasing or any contracts must be coordinated and executed through the recreation director. He's the only one in that chain that has the authority to do that.
Okay,
It's very simple. No one is standing in the way of your funding or your ability to provide these services. They're greatly appreciated.
okay.
Okay, but we have rules that we have to follow. So we pass our audits and we don't go to state prison. And we're very judicious about, particularly when it comes to taxpayer money. If you simply get your purchase orders and clear things with Brian, we'll have no missteps moving forward and everything will go
Could you have
swimmingly.
just called Michael? Isn't he our liaison? Michael thought the signs were stolen. He was ready to go to the police and file a vandalism report.
Mhm.
There is no communication, I feel, even amongst you guys.
Well-
He didn't know, and he called me last night and he was headed to the police department. So I think we all deserve a phone call when we're making plans like that, if you're going to just rip signs off. The town thinks we're having the event, the signs are up, the signs are down. It just puts a weird vibe out. That's all.
Yeah,
Sharon, you can't contract with anybody. So you can put signs up even if they're free, but there's no contract with whoever the entertainment provider is.
Brian sent me copies.
Yeah.
Brian sent me
signed
copies.
contracts.
This is for teen night.
Yeah,
This is for
Brian
teen
sent me
night.
copies for the teen night on April 10th.
It's just a few days away.
Again,
All right.
if you coordinate all of your purchasing through Brian,
Of course we do.
well,
We
in this
do.
particular instance, he came to me and said $160 worth of signs were purchased, and he was not aware of them until the signs went up. So I can only act on the information that I'm presented by the people that work for me.
Can you call us or call Michael? They were at the
No,
meeting.
That's not Michael's.
No,
A
it's,
liaison's role is to be a liaison to the particular board or commission and the governing body. It's not a administrative or secretarial role. His thing is to take the needs or Mary's need, he or her, it doesn't matter, councilman, councilwoman. You get assigned to be a liaison. And the liaison's job is to listen to that, Hervé listens to the police and anything to do with police, fire, first aid. Mike does everything under rec, right? And the whole thing is, what is it that they need? What challenges are they facing? And what are the solutions that they think may alleviate the challenges? That's the role of the liaison. That's it. That's the whole job. The
Okay,
whole
well,
job.
we were
Now,
all
this
wondering
is-
if the event was
Wait a
canceled over
minute.
the
So let-
weekend. We got
Sharon,
phone
I'm
calls.
not going to go point counterpoint. The whole thing is, there's been a huge problem with cultural arts.
A huge
Before I
problem?
make this point,
now
this
there's a
is
huge
what I'm
problem.
trying to get resolved. So Danielle, if you would go over the procurement laws of the state of New Jersey, this is what my whole thing is: compliance. I need compliance. And cultural arts has had a terrible record on complying. That being said, Danielle, go over what the actual law is on purchasing anything within a municipality in the state of New Jersey.
In New Jersey, we have to follow, the state regulations put forth that we have to have an encumbrance accounting system. And an encumbrance is done through a PO. And PO, the way I can kind of, the way I always describe it is as like a checkbook. Like, remember when we used to balance our checkbooks and we had that paper in the back of our checks?
Mhm.
Check number and who it was to and how much it was for. So this way we knew that check was out there. So we didn't overexpend our account. And that's what the encumbrance is.
Okay.
Mayor, may I ask a question?
Wait a minute, maybe, so Counselor, if you would further elaborate on the importance of following the procurement statutes of the state of New Jersey. And there's a downside if we don't follow them. And that's the part that I don't think I've ever successfully communicated to the cultural arts. You got to follow procurement rules. You can't arbitrarily and haphazardly say, well, I talked to so-and-so and so, it's like they talk to me, the mayor, what do you think about hot air balloons rides? There'd probably be a lot of fun. And then they go order a hot air balloon. And they go, well, the mayor said it was all right. The mayor didn't say it was all right. You still got to follow procurement.
At our first meeting last week with people present, on March 5th, we presented everything to everyone to make comments. This is me
Wait a minute,
taking care of
Sharon,
it this year.
You still don't have money. The budget hasn't been set, your allocation hasn't been made. And that's why I was really annoyed tonight that now we're going to have a special set aside because you can't follow the rules. Everybody else follows the rules.
Well, how does recreation follow the rules if they had an LED golf event 2 weeks ago?
I
They're
don't
having
know.
an Easter egg
don't know.
event in 2 weeks.
Well,
Their calendar's
wait,
allowed to
do
be
you want
put
the
out.
answer or do you want to just vent?
No, I
Okay.
would like to
All
talk
right.
too.
Go ahead, Glenn.
the recreation department's temporary budget is considerably more sizable than the one for your organization. So they have ample funds. If they did not, those things would not occur.
Okay, so for next year, maybe you would consider that we just have to procure bands as well, just like they make bookings. We're in the same type of a realm. These bands are texting me every other day. Bands get booked up down the shore. We're doing requests from all different people, ideas, a Michael Jackson night, whatever, to have fun for the community. If we don't grab them, it's not like just getting anybody.
May I ask?
Sharon, it's all great. I always said there was a lot of talent in the cultural arts, starting with Moira McCormick. She was the one that I contacted first to start it, to revive it. And remember, sometimes people lose this focus. This is about summer entertainment, free summer entertainment. That is why I restarted cultural arts. It was for the families of Sayreville to have something free to occupy the summer nights. That was the goal, and that was the task assigned to the cultural arts. All this being said, and I don't step into who you contract, and you know, that is the talent that you have. So all this being said, sometimes you got to plan a year ahead. You can't wait for the season to start and then all of a sudden have this urgency for money because a certain entertainment entity will not be available. If they're not available this year, you can plan and they may be available next year.
Okay, can I just correct on something? We don't have to pay any of these bands up front. It's just signing a
You can't
contract.
sign a,
Yeah.
That's
Hold
to
on.
secure them. It's not paying them.
Yeah, but in New Jersey law, a municipality, unlike a private entity or an individual, a municipality can't sign a contract unless it has the funds available. So that's why in a lot of these resolutions, they'll see in there a certification from the CFO certifying that funds are available to pay for it. So even if you don't have to pay for 6 months out, that funds has to be earmarked and certified by the certifier.
Okay.
No,
I'm just going to just
explaining.
tell you, this
And
is the
then-
first year I'm controlling it.
Mhm.
I don't know how it went on the past 2 years then. Because Stosh said earlier today, there was no problems last year. It just rolled. And Moira, I heard, let it roll too. I'm following the laws. It's a little bit delayed, but this is the first year I'm doing it. It was done different ways the past 2 years.
the thing I've been trying to do is get a handle on it for 2 years. So it's either happening this year, it has to happen this year, because I can't let the borough be at risk because it affects everything. If the auditor comes in and says you're procuring outside of the norms of state procurement, it's just problematic that we don't need. So the cultural art, so now there are 9 members, all right, and the whole thing is you just got to follow the rules. And the guy you need to talk to is Brian.
He's in our
Brian is the
meeting.
guy you got to talk to.
We know that, and he's in our meeting. We do. And we have councilmen there too.
Go ahead.
I'm just a little confused. The signs were taken down because Brian said that they were purchased without a purchase order. Can't do that. I got that. But you just said they were free. Are you saying you really don't have to, that they were free, or that they were giving it to you and waiting for payment?
5 of the signs she donated to us, 2 of them were overlaid, so they were discounted. She did us a favor.
So there is a bill.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what the problem is. There was no PO for the 163. And because I was getting confused. Are they free? Are they not free? So some of them were free. The other ones were discounted. And there's a bill of 160 that has to go through Brian first so he can give a purchase order. Okay?
Okay, when we were
Once-
given the
once that's
go-ahead
done,
at the
can we put
meeting,
the
I
signs
just
back
thought
up?
that meant we could go ahead.
Well, yeah, we take care, talk to Brian, get that done. The business administrator said he will make sure that the signs go back up. We got
Thank
to
you,
follow
Glenn.
policy.
Thank you, Glenn.
All right, anything else, Sharon?
No.
Anyone else? Any and all issues? Okay, with that, I'll take a motion to close the public portion.
So moved.
All in, roll call? A second, rather?
Second.
Roll call?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, with that,
Motion
I'll
to
take a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
You did.
Is there a motion? Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.